Hey, everybody, and welcome back to I Got This podcast with Lex and MGP. My name is Lex. I've been a personal trainer for 7 years now. Martha is my client, and she has been with me for 4 years. Over our time together, she's lost over 60 pounds, and we have learned so much together. We've learned what works, what doesn't work, and more importantly, we've had so much fun doing it. So join us each and every week as we talk about whatever the hell we want. Hey, everybody, welcome back to I Got This podcast with Lex and MGP. MGP, take it away.
Okay, so I was having a conversation recently, and it was someone who was trying to get healthier, trying to, not always rely on food and drink and all that. And we were talking about, why do all treats and celebrations have to be food centered?
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to think of ways we could celebrate things without food, or making it food centered or drink centered. And so that's kind of what you and I just started talking about.
Yeah. You explained it really well. You said as soon as somebody does something, it's let's go out to eat.
Yep.
Or
let's have drinks. Let's have cake. I mean, it's never like, let's go eat broccoli. I mean, it's always something that's not necessarily health centered.
Right.
And not that there's anything wrong with that either at times, but it becomes overwhelming sometimes. I'm just coming off a season with like a lot of retirement and baby showers and weddings, and all those things are great and fun, but they're also food centered.
So true. If it's a birthday, we're going out to eat for the birthday,
and then having cake,
or we're going out to get drinks.
Yep.
It's a lot of that. Holidays, 4th of July, centered around like burgers and brats and beer, right?
Yep.
Burgers, brats, and beer. I agree. I think that's a lot of the problem with society. With at least American society. Definitely food brings people together. We know that. That's 100% true.
Sure.
And it's hard. I think as any culture, food brings people together. But then the question is like, for sure, like, why is it centered around food? And how do we change that approach? Like, you don't hear anybody say, let's go for a birthday walk.
Right. Exactly.
Birthday hike. I heard a group, they went this weekend. One of my clients, she said they all went on a birthday boat ride. That was cute.
Yeah, but you know what they had on that boat ride?
Drinks. It was all alcohol. Yeah. So I think that's such a good point. And I think it's really hard to navigate. Like, you have to change yourself before you can change society.
Sure. And sitting down at a big table with a group of friends or family, that is something that, brings us all together for sure. And sharing that meal.
Yeah.
But it just seems like when we celebrate, the meal goes off the rails.
You're so right. And I think, I definitely believe that changing yourself is the first step to changing society. So with my clients, that's the first thing we work on, is how to moderate when you are celebrating with friends and family. But then the next thing is, okay, well, is there an activity involved? Because that's even more fun.
Right.
But if you have an activity involved rather than just sitting there and eating, but you got to make that decision, right? So like, if you're going to a birthday party, you can have 6 pieces of cake, or you can have like a little slice, right? Or you can, like, if you're going to, I mean, it's a wedding. Like, sometimes you're at a wedding, you're dancing, and you don't even get a bite of cake.
Right. And that's okay.
That's okay. So I think it's such a big norm, and I totally understand what you're saying. It's a tricky one. Like, it really is.
It's the culture, though, of our society.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, and I've been guilty of this, that, oh, well, I'm going to this event and this is my opportunity to have whatever this special thing is. But then it seems like they come in waves where it's just one thing after another. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
But how special is that thing?
Right.
Yes. It's like,
you've been trained to think of it that way.
Right. Like, I'm going, a pizza party? Like, how special is pizza? I can get pizza anytime I want.
Correct.
Right? Like, or how special if you go to a birthday party, you get cake. I mean, I guess I don't really have cake that much, but like, you don't need a lot of it.
No. And then I have to remind myself, I am not the norm here, because I don't like cake. But I'll still eat it because I feel like I should in the celebration.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did I do that? I don't even like it.
Yeah, that's not a lot of people.
I know it's not a lot of people. Most people love cake. I like other things, but I'll still eat it. So why am I doing that?
Yeah, I think you got to figure that out. I definitely stuff myself to the brim whenever I get like different food that is not homemade, or like, I feel like I haven't eaten all day, so I'm going to eat it up here.
Right.
It's definitely a tricky thing. And I do think the first answer is changing yourself to change society. Like, if you are planning something, maybe plan something around an event, for sure.
some
I
sort of
know.
activity involved with it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like we're gonna do like a pickleball tournament or we're gonna do like a ping pong tournament, like
Mhm.
something in which like there maybe food is the side product. Like we're gonna have this here for food, but
Mhm.
that's not the center of this.
Yeah, and that unfortunately becomes usually what's happening though. You know, everyone come over, we're gonna do whatever the food is, as opposed to everyone come over, we're gonna play this game outside,
Right.
we'll have snacks
Yeah,
or
we'll
we'll
have
have food.
snack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like maybe that is the answer. I'm not sure. I think it's culture is people surround themselves with people around food. It's just what it is. But then it's like the next question is it good food when you're going out to eat too? You can make better decisions because
Mhm.
you're picking your own food and you're choosing your own drinks.
Mhm.
But if you're going to like a party at a home, like
It's trickier.
it's trickier. So for the average person,
Mhm.
it is choosing when you're going out how you're going to approach the situation before the situation arises
Mhm.
and how you're going to perceive the food before you get there too. So like if you get there and you know it's 4th of July and they got burgers and brats, like, okay, not the healthiest food. Like, what are you gonna bring?
Right.
What are you going to do to make yourself feel good?
Mhm.
And that's it's definitely not easy. And then like how are you going to approach the rest of the day cuz it's only like 5 hours or
Mhm.
whatever, right?
So is it that all I guess for me, this is where I struggle. It's
Uh-huh.
that all or nothing mentality. So coach, I'm gonna ask you here.
Mhm.
So do you just go to that 4th of July party, that picnic or whatever,
Mhm.
and just be like, okay, this meal is off path.
Mhm.
And that's okay. Or do you really just try to pick the healthiest food you can at the party?
That's a
That's where I struggle a little bit. Should I be like, you know what? It's 4th of July, but I know it's 4th of July every year. So
I
you
know.
know,
That's a really really good
that's where I
question.
struggle.
I think most people struggle with that. I think that those are the two approaches
Mhm.
and either could work. So like for me personally, if I go unless it's something I'm dying for,
Mhm.
like if I go to a party and they got like mac and cheese that I really want that mac and cheese and
That's your crack
that's
calling you?
my yeah, whatever it
Yeah.
may be. Or like something that's really like
Mhm.
ribs or something that's really calling me,
Okay,
then
now
I'm
you're making me
gonna
hungry.
I know, sorry. I'm gonna have that and I'm gonna go in on it because
Mhm.
I never get it.
Right.
But that is likely not the case for it to be every scenario for every time you go somewhere.
Right.
So like I truly would pick and choose wisely.
Mhm.
So like let's get I'm not a big fan of like 4th of July food, right? So if
Okay.
I go somewhere, I'm going to pick the protein. I'm going to do like a burger with no bun,
Mhm.
easy, and I'm sure there's going to be a healthy salad of sorts, like a fruit salad
Sure.
or like something along those lines.
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, same thing. You go and you got the turkey. I'm not a big fan of Thanksgiving food. So I'm like going to get that turkey, but I do like those apps, right?
Mhm.
So like there are ways around it, but then if I know I'm going to go out to eat and I'm really looking forward to like this one thing on the menu,
Mhm.
I'm going to go all out on that. So I think it's about truly picking and choosing what you really really want.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's hard not to get swept up too in the moment sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when the other guests at the party or whatever, but like, oh, this is the best,
Yeah.
thing. And I was like, oh, I wasn't going to have that. But now they're saying it's the best thing.
Right, exactly. You're like, "Well, they said it was so good."
Yeah. And then you try it and you're like, oh.
No, it's not that
but
great. But I think it is truly a test of what you want out of that day. Like how do you
Mhm.
want to feel leaving that day? Um and then what are you really looking forward to? Like what kind of food would you like ride or die for?
Right.
Right? So I definitely agree. Did that answer help at all or not really?
No, I mean, I see what you're saying. I struggle with which approach to take myself sometimes. And I'm sure other people do as well.
I think the approach would be 90% of the time pick the healthier option.
Yeah. But that's not fun always. I know. And that's what you got to decide.
So what? It's not
I know.
fun. Being
Right.
better is not always super fun.
Exactly.
Discipline will always win.
And that's the issue that I think a lot of us struggle with, the instant gratification or the delayed gratification,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I totally understand. I totally agree with what you're saying. Totally understand with what you're saying.
And for me, not
Mhm.
being weak maybe in the moment.
Yeah, and you got again is like and you're in the moment. Are you
Mhm.
dying for it? Are you really dying for that food? Like
Mhm.
and I'm not saying you have to be dying. How badly do you really want it?
Right.
And how bad is it for you? I don't know. So I think for you, as your coach, the
Mhm.
best approach would say, I'm going to eat healthy because you have a ton of events this summer. Like,
It's like nonstop. They just keep coming at me.
yeah. So if you know that so if I'm coaching you right now
Mhm.
in this moment, you got a ton of events this summer, then you have to pick the healthier option at those events 90% of the time.
Mhm.
And then if you happen to have, and honestly, your off path meals normally happen when you're with your family and they make something that's off path and it's really yummy,
Right.
or you're going out to eat for like something
Mhm.
with your family. I think you guys went out to eat yesterday. You got Coney dogs,
Yes.
right? Like that's your off path meal.
Mhm.
You weren't going to pass that up.
I wasn't gonna sit there and watch them have the Coney dog contest without me eating one. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, well, you picked it.
Mhm.
Now at every other event, you're going up north this week.
Mhm.
Probably should pick the 90%, right?
Yeah. Well, we're taking healthy food up north.
There you go. But
Mhm.
you get what I'm saying.
Yes,
You're
for sure.
getting what I'm
Because of
getting
that.
at.
No, because we do wanna eat healthy and we don't wanna just
Go
eat
off
food
path or
that
sick
makes us
things.
feel bad or yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mean mentally, just physically, don't feel that great if I eat too
Right.
much rich food. Yeah.
But then if you're the person that is like literally loves food, because I
Mhm.
know people who are like, I'm a foodie, like I
Mhm.
need this food, this food, this food. It's like, okay, can you have a taste and not eat a few hundred calories? Like, can you
Yeah, it's
try
hard.
it? It's really hard. I have a girl who she goes out to eat probably 6 days a week because of like she's probably um she's really so in a high so like her group of friends like they
Mhm.
go out and eat a lot and they celebrate a lot of things.
Mhm.
She was like, I'm not gonna not go socialize with these people
Mhm.
because I want to be healthy. I'm like, okay, well, the second question is, can you have a bite of the food without indulging to the extent like an insane extent? She's like, yeah, I can do
Mhm.
that. And I was like, okay, then that's going to be your approach. So
Okay.
everybody's approach is going to be slightly different. She's going to go out to eat a lot,
Mhm.
but she's got to pick that healthier option. And she's got to choose, like, I'm just going to have a bite to be social and then
Mhm.
pick a healthier option. And so it's hard. It's a
Mhm.
really, really hard topic.
I know, and honestly, for me, it's been a retrain, and I'm still struggling with this,
Mhm.
retraining it, but going out, whether it's to someone's house or to a restaurant or whatever,
Mhm.
is a source of fun. Of course it is.
Yeah.
And I've got had to working on retraining myself that the fun is not the food.
No.
The fun is the social activity.
The fun is the people that you're around, the
Right.
environment, and that type of thing. And then if you're like, ooh, if you want to bond over getting certain type of food,
Mhm.
I mean, be the person that be the
Mhm.
change you want to see in the world, right? That
Mhm.
saying,
Right.
it's like, oh, like I'm that person who probably is annoying, but I'm like, oh, why don't we bond over like a good Brussels sprout salad? Like I'm gonna get us a nice salad. You get what I'm
Alexis is
saying?
trying to get voted off the island.
Seriously, whatever. You get what I'm saying. So like if you're around me, I'm
Mhm.
not going to go for like I'm not going to be gung ho on that unhealthy food.
Yes, I know.
But that's so
Yeah.
enough people know that about me.
Mhm.
It's not like they're not going to eat it, but it'd be more fun if we had something healthier, right? Because you feel so good after. So
Yeah.
it's be the change you want to see in the world, and then know yourself. And that I think is the hardest thing is knowing yourself.
Mhm.
And I'm the person too that's like pizza, I'm eating it. It's there, I'm eating it.
Mhm.
But so it's like I have to bring something else or make a different choice.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Is this helpful?
Yeah, it's a struggle though. It's a struggle for a lot of us.
It's a struggle for everyone. It's not going to solve any problems, but
Mhm.
we continue to open the conversation and let's celebrate with something other than food. Let's try to celebrate with activity. Let's just try to celebrate with different things. And I know I'm really happy someone brought it up to you
Mhm.
because it's not just one person who
Mm,
struggles with it. It's all of us.
yeah. And we've talked about it. We were talking about it a little bit in a small group and the couple of us were like, "Yeah, why does it?" And then other people are like, "'Cause it's fun. Why would we give it up?" So it was almost like a little bit of an argument,
Yeah.
when we were talking about it. So,
It's like, what are you willing to sacrifice for your well-being? Is it if you're constantly doing it, is
mhm.
it affecting your health and wellness? Probably.
Mhm.
More likely than not. If you are constantly doing things that are fun, right? I could say I like I like drinking, but like I don't, but like okay, I could say I don't know, something that's bad for me, but it's fun. Does that mean
Mhm.
I'm not going to do it? Like I'm going to keep doing it because it's fun. Like, no, that sounds really reckless. What a reckless thing to say. You should bring that up. Like, what a reckless thing to say. Like, oh, because it's fun. Well, there are a lot of fun things that you shouldn't do.
Well, I think
constantly.
the argument was that life's too short. We should have fun. And I was like, well, I don't want to make my life shorter by doing these things.
I guess it's like, if
it's a trade-off.
It's a trade-off, but also it's like okay, if that's your life and your prerogative and you know that it's unhealthy, and it's like, I mean, if you know that, like, I know one person in your life, it's like, I know for a long time they wouldn't give something up. It's like, I can't force you to give something up because you like it that much. I guess the life that you want to live is very different than the life I hope for you, but I can't force you to do it. So it's like, well, your trade-off is bigger. So your enjoyment is bigger than like your need for a change. So it's like, I can't force you to do anything that you don't want to do.
Right.
So I guess it's, again, that argument is like, well, it's fun. It's like, well, yeah, there are a lot of things that are fun that you shouldn't do. Right. Like, that is a big argument. I think that's a silly argument.
I know.
But also, like, no, yeah, if you're talking to somebody who wants to change and they feel this issue, then they can change. But if you're talking to somebody who doesn't want to change and they're like, well, this is how we celebrate and this is what it is, like,
exactly.
Okay, well, then there's not going to be a change.
So just know there are people out there like me, like the person I was talking to, who do want to change.
Yeah.
And we just need to be supportive of each other on that.
Boom.
Exactly. I got this. Hey guys, thanks for listening this week. Please leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. For more I Got This content, please make sure to follow, like, and share on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or you can always go to our website, igotThisPod.com, for more info. As always, thanks for listening. See you next Monday.